Princess Catherine has revealed the plan that could change Prince George's next chapter. And the young prince is reportedly looking forward to following Prince William to Eton College. George has grown up hearing about his father's Eton years, and now he could experience the same traditions for himself. But there's a fascinating detail behind his excitement. George isn't simply following his father's footsteps. He could be preparing to experience a very different Eton from the one William knew. So what exactly is waiting for George behind those famous gates? George is expected to begin at Eton in September, and there is already a sense that this moment means something special to the Wales family. After all, William once walked through those same gates. Now, his eldest son is preparing to do exactly the same. But here is the intriguing part. George's experience at Eton could be very different from the one his father had. And that difference may tell us something important about how Catherine and William are preparing their son for the future. Eton is famous for its history, its traditions, and its connection to generations of British leaders. But the school George is approaching is also changing. Its expanding indoor sports complex will offer an impressive range of activities, including fencing, squash, climbing, martial arts, yoga, and a golf simulator. For George, that could be particularly exciting. Sport has already played a noticeable role in his childhood. He has shown an interest in football, tennis, and other physical challenges, while occasionally joining his father at Aston Villa matches and appearing alongside his family at Wimbledon. So imagine George arriving at Eton and discovering an environment where many of those interests can continue to grow. But there is something deeper happening here. George is not simply moving from one prestigious school to another. He is entering a new stage of independence. Before Eton, he had already experienced boarding at Lambrook School, where he studied alongside Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis. Reports suggested that George himself was interested in trying boarding, a decision that gave him an early opportunity to experience life away from home and become part of a wider community. That small step may have been more important than it first appeared, because Eton will take that independence much further. For Catherine and William, this must be a fascinating moment as parents. Their eldest child is growing up quickly, and the little boy once seen accompanying them at royal events is now preparing to enter a school with centuries of history behind it. And for William, there is an unmistakable sense of déjà vu. He attended Eton himself and embraced a wide range of sports during his school years. George will now encounter many of the same traditions, but he will arrive under very different circumstances. William entered Eton during a deeply complicated period in his family life. His parents' marriage was under enormous strain, and the pressures surrounding the young prince were impossible to ignore. George's story begins differently. He will enter Eton from a home where Catherine and William have worked hard to give their children stability and privacy. That distinction matters. The school may be the same, but the childhood behind the student is not. And perhaps that is the most touching part of this story. George can follow his father without having to repeat his father's past. He can wear the same uniform, walk through the same gates, and discover the same traditions, while creating memories that belong entirely to him. Eton also offers George opportunities far beyond the classroom. Its sporting expansion reflects a modern approach to education, giving students more ways to develop discipline, teamwork, and confidence. For a future king, those qualities may eventually prove just as valuable as academic achievement. In my opinion, this is what makes George's school move so interesting. Catherine and William are not simply choosing a famous institution. They appear to be giving their son room to become more independent while keeping the family foundation firmly behind him. And that may be the real difference between George and William. William once walked into Eton, carrying the weight of his family circumstances. George will walk through those gates carrying a different kind of responsibility, but hopefully with the confidence that comes from knowing his parents are still right behind him. So when Prince George finally begins at Eton this September, the images may look familiar. A young prince, a historic school, the same family connection. But this is not William's story being repeated. It is George's story beginning. And perhaps, years from now, people will look back at this moment and realize that the decision was never only about where George would go to school. It was about giving the future king his first meaningful opportunity to step forward on his own. What do you think? Is Eton the right choice for Prince George, especially because it allows him to follow his father's footsteps while creating his own path? Let us know in the comments, and subscribe for more stories about Prince George, Princess Catherine, and the Wales family.